It was a bustling afternoon in the city, with cars, buses and motorcycles zipping through the crowded streets. Pedestrians filled the sidewalks, rushing to their destinations, unaware of the small, fateful event about to unfold in front of a busy cafe. Among the crowd was Mr. Jenkins, a blind man, walking steadily with the help of his loyal German shepherd, Max. Max was not just any dog. He was a retired K9 officer, trained to protect and guide. Mr. Jenkins had a quiet demeanour and always wore a warm smile despite the challenges life threw his way. Max had been his constant companion since his retirement from the police force. Together they moved with synchronized grace, Max guiding Mr. Jenkins safely through the city's chaos. As they approached the cafe, the familiar scents of coffee and pastries greeted them. Mr. Jenkins decided to stop for a moment and sit on one of the outdoor benches. Max sat beside him, alert but calm, his eyes scanning the environment as if still on duty. People often admired Max for his discipline and the strong bond he shared with Mr. Jenkins. Unbeknownst to Mr. Jenkins, a group of young men on motorcycles had pulled up nearby. They were loud, brash, and looking for trouble. One of them, Jake, was particularly restless, always seeking attention through cheap thrills and immature pranks. As he dismounted his bike, his eyes landed on Max. "Jake, hey, check out that guy with the dog. I bet I can make that mutt jump." Jake had a notorious reputation for his cruel jokes, but today he was about to make the biggest mistake of his life. With a smirk on his face, he walked up to Max, pretending to be an innocent passer-by. Suddenly, without warning, Jake swung his leg and lightly kicked Max's side, chuckling as if it were all in good fun. Max's reaction was immediate and instinctive. He leapt to his feet, turning swiftly towards Jake, his eyes blazing with the intensity of his training. He let out a deep, authoritative bark that echoed through the street, stopping pedestrians in their tracks. The laughter from Jake and his friends died instantly as fear gripped them. "Mr. Jenkins! Max, what's going on, boy?" The cafe patrons, now alert, stared at Jake in disapproval. One of them, an off-duty police officer named Officer Daniels, recognized Max immediately. He had worked with Max during his active K9 days and knew exactly what the dog was capable of. "Officer Daniels, hey, kid! You have no idea who you just messed with, Jake. It was just a joke. I didn't mean to." "Officer Daniels, you think it's funny to kick a service dog? Max isn't just any dog. He's a retired K9 officer, and he's trained to protect." The colour drained from Jake's face as the gravity of his actions sunk in. He had kicked a police dog, an act that could land him in serious trouble. The crowd murmured in disapproval, and Jake's friends slowly backed away, realizing the severity of the situation. Max, sensing the tension in Mr. Jenkins and the threat posed by Jake, stayed alert but restrained, waiting for his next command. Mr. Jenkins, still unaware of the full context, turned to Officer Daniels, seeking clarity. "Mr. Jenkins, officer, what's going on? Why is Max so agitated?" Officer Daniels gently explained the situation to Mr. Jenkins, who listened carefully, his expression changing from confusion to calm understanding. He knelt down and patted Max's head, whispering soothing words to his faithful friend. "Mr. Jenkins? Thank you, Max. You did exactly what you were trained to do." He then turned to Jake, his voice steady but firm. "Mr. Jenkins, young man, you need to understand something. Max isn't just my guide, he's my protector. What you did was cruel and dangerous." Jake, now fully aware of his reckless behaviour, muttered an apology, unable to meet Mr. Jenkins's eyes. Officer Daniels stepped in once more. "Officer Daniels, you're lucky. Max is as disciplined as he is. Kicking a K9 dog, retired or not, is a serious offence. Let this be a lesson to you. Not all jokes are harmless, and you should think twice before acting out." The crowd slowly dispersed, but the lesson lingered in the air. Jake, humbled and ashamed, walked away, his friends no longer finding him amusing. Mr. Jenkins, with Max by his side, resumed his peaceful stroll, knowing that his loyal companion would always have his back. Max, the retired K9 officer, had once again proven that his duty to protect never truly ended.